quindi la mettiamo in onda immediatamente dopo che preparo il banner, perché qui ancora meno si possono fare errori. Tra l'altro banner difficilissimo su cui spero di non aver sbagliato. Eccola qui direttamente dal Pionier, non Marza, ma Alexsandra Radivojevic, che di lavoro fa il mio, cioè fa la telecronistica sportiva per Sport Club Commentator, è quello che vedete sotto, e quindi oggi è a Belgrado al Pionier per questa gara 5. Hi Alexandra and welcome to Area 52.
Hi guys. Thanks for having me. It was really good chance for me to hear a little bit of Italian, which I like very much, but I don't know to say a word of Italian except grazie. So it was very good to hear. Yeah. It was very good to hear you.
Okay, also Paglia has the same problem sometimes, so don't worry about it.
In Italian.
In Italian. Yeah, because we have the Marchigiano, which is a dialect in Italy, which is doing a lot of damages of the language. So, okay, try to. So, this game 5, the first question is about your feeling going into game 5, one of the greatest rivalries in European basketball, as I said before, between Partizan and Cervena Zvezda.
Yeah, probably I consider it the biggest rivalry in the Europe. Maybe it's not so objective right now, but I think it is. Maybe something similar to Panathinaikos and Olympiacos fans in Greece. So if you ask me for a feeling about the results or something like that, I would not predict anything on this game, because I think probably details and things like that will decide the winner. That was the case in that third and probably in the fourth game of this final series of the ABA League. So if you ask me to predict, I really don't know what to say. I mean, Zvezda have that home court advantage, which is very important in Serbia for us. Probably it's in some other countries in Europe, it's advantage, but it's not something that can decide the winner of the game. But here, it's probably the most important thing that you can have in games like this. So I don't know if you want to ask me something, you can, but we can also talk about the whole series.
It wasn't about the prediction of the result, but it was about the moment going into the game, this game 5. Your feeling about also the ambient, how they think that we can hand this battle, because it's a battle.
Yeah, well, first I need to say that I'm now in part of the Pionir. It's part of the gym or something like that. It's really improvised. I can say that. And I'm in a kind of a locker room. I think they have yoga classes there, so I have to be quiet. And there's a bunch of people right now in front of the Pionir, and inside also it's probably 30 minutes or something like that until the game. So I don't know, the information about the tickets probably is the most interesting one for this game. The tickets wouldn't be sold or something like that. We didn't get a price of the ticket, but the club controlled everything, because you know that Zvezda and Partizan also had that, they had partly empty tribunes and things like that because of all the stuff that happened in those 4 games. Maybe not only in the first one, we didn't have incidents and things like that. So probably we had, I think, 3 very similar games at the beginning of the series, with a very similar games of both teams. And I think in those 3 games, the details were something that decided those games. Zvezda got the first one a little easier. Yeah, it's true. But the second and the third were very close. So there was great tensions, as today, of course. We had that incident first on the first incident was actually on the second game. I would say it like that. The game wasn't interrupted then, but we had that incident with throwing everything on the court that fans got to their hands. And the third one then was completely, I don't know, took over by, I would say, referees and fans. So that is something that is pretty specific for this region here, and probably the most for Serbian basketball. the thing is, I don't know if you guys see what happened in that third game, which was interrupted. Something hit the referee Uroš Nikolić in the head during that last timeout after the 3-point shot made by Kevin Panter. So something hit him in the head, and the game was interrupted. And I would not speak a lot about basketball things, and also not about tactical things with Željko and Dejan Radonjić. I would like to say something that is my main impression of that moment. The game was interrupted on 57 seconds until the end of the game. And we had a pause like for 20 minutes or something like that. And in that second and third game, a lot of stuff were on the court, and also hit Rade Zagorac, Dejan Radonjić, Željko Obradović also. And nothing happened, you know. There is no regulation in the league that can explain something that happened to players or coaches or coaching staff on the bench. The only option probably for coaches is to took their team and to leave the gym or things like that. But there will be consequences for that, you know. So probably referees are more, you know, protected by the league. I would say it like that, but that's not the same thing with the players and coaches. So that's the main problem here right now, if we talk about the regulation of the league. But if you ask me about the basketball things, I think, well, I don't know. In that fourth game, Partizan literally broke Zvezda, and not only broke Zvezda, but also broke some records. And that was pretty interesting for Zvezda fans and people who are watching basketball here. I don't know if you hear me well. I hope you are, because we know we heard a lot of stuff about, you know, defense of the team of Dejan Radonjić, also in Euroleague, not only in the ABA league. If you remember, in November last year, I think Zvezda get like 48 points during the whole game against Panathinaikos. And it was something that, I don't know, the newspapers in whole Europe uses as a head, you know. But now in that fourth game, Partizan broke records among the highest number of points received in the one half. And Zvezda received 68 points in first half, which is the most so far in the ABA League playoffs in the finals. So this is not something that anyone expected, but especially not for Zvezda, of course. And I don't know, I think I would say that it was a tactical mistake by the coach Dejan Radonjić, but I'm not sure who am I to speak about tactical things about coaches and things like that. But that's the main impression of the fans and of the whole basketball public here in Belgrade. And I think that Partizan actually adapted better after those first two games in the series. Partizan just adjusted to Zvezda's game, you know, after that first game. While I think Zvezda continued to play exactly the same as in two games before that. And they struggled more and more with making baskets. And in that fourth game, there were no solutions for Matias Lezor for Zvezda. I mean, Ognjen Kuzmic did a great job in first three games, but in the fourth one, there were no solution for Matias Lezor. He created a lot of problems to Zvezda and made a lot of space for his teammates actually to play, to score points easier, especially for Yamadar, I would say. I like how that guy played actually those two games. Yamadar is, I think, could be a really big name in a European basketball, but don't get me wrong, if he will not be the superstar of the European basketball, don't ask me anything. I don't know, I think Zvezda needed more players to contribute, you know, to show something in that fourth game. They needed to be more in a mood of a derby match, so somebody is there. Okay. For example, Kalinic gave, I think, 25 or 26 points in the second game of the series. And he practically solved the question of the winner of that game, But in the first and the third one, I think he did not have such a big impact on the court, on the team, and didn't give any contribution as we expected for him. I think Austin Hollins, actually, from Crvena Zvezda, played great in the beginning. He gave 4 3-pointers, if I'm not mistake, in the first quarter. And then he disappeared from the field. We can say it like that. And the more consistent players in the fourth game were actually missing for Zvezda. We had Stefan Markovic, that he didn't play his best basketball at all. Ognjen Dobric, Dan Davidovac, those are the guys that we are expecting to be on their level in every game. You know, if they're not making points, they need to create for other players. So that was something that Zvezda was missing in the game 4. And I don't know, that 3-point shot from Kevin Panther were probably in the third game, were probably something that brings the energy for Partizan. And here you can bring the energy with only 1 3-point shot, you know. It's Partizan's fans and it's Zvezda's fans. So you're probably, I don't know, you're probably lucky because you're normal people there. When we talk about basketball here, it's everything, you know, life or death. I mean, I'm not sure if we are going to live the same tomorrow morning after the game 5. So it's difficult to explain to you normal guys, you know, Italians and Spanish guys or guys like that.
Alexsandra.
Yeah.
Alexsandra, so I would have to translate your analysis on the final. So I want because we ask our followers to learn English also listening to us in our test. Però ovviamente posso dare qualche, diciamo, sommaria traduzione per capi, e quindi la partenza iniziale è sostanzialmente che in effetti Partizan e Stella Rossa è paragonabile a livello cestistico solamente forse a Panathinaikos. Questo tanto per chiarire il tipo di follia che c'è dietro. Più volte ci ha detto non mi chiedete chi vince perché non lo so e non lo dirò, o meglio non lo predirò perché tanto non ci prendo mai, solita scusa, no? Avete sentito prima Werther Pedrazzi, anche Marza fa così, anche se poi li prende tutti. La Stella Rossa, che aveva il fattore campo, sono state, poi c'è stata la lunga analisi delle partite e anche dal punto di vista tecnico che ovviamente non posso tradurre per questioni logiche. Interessante però il pezzo centrale dove Alexsandra ha parlato degli incidenti e sostanzialmente del fatto che proprio per quel discorso sul carattere di queste tifoserie anche oltretutto c'è stato il primo incidente in gara 2, poi la tensione in gara 3 con l'arbitro colpito a meno di un minuto dalla fine, la partita interrotta da 20 di minuti, insomma c'è una history dietro a questa sfida che fa sì che questa gara 5 io credo sia iper blindata e si cercherà di mantenere sui livelli di pallacanestro che tra l'altro ovviamente sono altissimi perché parliamo comunque di due squadre che con ogni probabilità faranno l'Euroleague l'anno prossimo entrambi. Anthony 1979 centra il problema segnalando che Alexsandra sostanzialmente è una sorta di radio. In effetti ci ha fatto un podcast fantastico. Chiederemo poi eventualmente per la traduzione. Adesso andiamo con le domande più short così riusciamo anche a gestire il dopo. Quella di Paglia da agitatore. Alexsandra, we have a question from our how we say, come si dice agitatore social?
Non si dice.
Ok. Social stormer.
A crazy guy.
He's a
crazy guy. Okay. A crazy question from a crazy guy. So, Alexsandra, you covered crazy games like this all around your career, I imagine. So I suppose you saw many crazy things during these games. Can you tell us the craziest one you see, or you saw, or you lived inside the Pioneer or the Stark Arena?
Yeah, well, it was similar to that one, probably in Greek league. I don't know what was the year of that, but when the racket hits in the head, Kyle Hines. I think that was when Coach Bartzokas was the first time in Olympiacos or something like that. You guys can say the opposite if you think. And we had one final of the cup in it wasn't in Belgrade, but it was in Kragujevac. It's one smaller town here in Serbia. There was a big fight between fans, Crvena Zvezda and Partizan's fans also. So the game was interrupted, and that cup goes to Zvezda. So I don't know. There's probably the biggest problem were fans, and I think from that game, we don't have fans for both teams. When Zvezda is playing at home, we have only Zvezda's fan, and when Partizan is playing at home, we have only Partizan's fans. And the both teams play here in Pionir. That's our favorite arena here. I know that Stark Arena, the biggest one here in Belgrade, is probably the favorite one for you guys that is coming from all other countries from Europe. But for us, Pionir has a soul. We can say it like that, because the tribunes are closer to the court, and then the fans have a bigger impact and everything. And I really like that passion that we have for basketball. We never play for fun. We nothing play for fun. If you play table tennis with friends on the seaside or something, you don't play for fun. You play for win. And I like that passion, but there is always a moment on matches like this one that we cross the borders, and that is something that we just cannot fix. The government is still not so strong with those fans problem. And it's better situation now than probably in last 10 or 15 years or something like that. But I think that will be the issue in the future for a long, long time. So I hope that we are going to solve that somehow. And the same situation is probably in soccer games. But the stadium is pretty much easier to control than the arena. So we had a bunch of problems here with that. And I can show you something now. I guess we are going into the arena in a few minutes. Probably my live will last a little bit shorter than we expected because I have to be there. But now I don't know if you can see it, but this is a press entrance there. And sorry guys, there were some people out there from Zvezda's team, so I have to be quiet. Yeah, there's a couple of policemen or things like that, but nothing specific is here now. So I'm waiting to get on the court and to see what's happening there. Also, as I mentioned, partly the hall will be empty because of those problems in those 4 games that we already watched. So maybe we will not have the loudest atmosphere that we got used to it, but I guess it will be hot. And also, one more detail about the Pionir is that air conditioning is not working, so it's 100 degrees here now, right now. So
it's like in Tagliercio in Venice.
It's like
yeah, I would like to mention something about this series and the tension that we made and that we are guilty for. I can be honest with that. But I have to mention something. In those historical battles between Zvezda and Partizan, we always had tension. And the tension was made, I would probably say, from some other people, not from the people from the clubs, not from coaching staff, not from the players. But probably that tension had the impact to all of them. But this time, I think relationship between the coaches, between Dan and Jelko, and the players before and after all the games was very good. I think was friendly, was very healthy, and very clean. And it's probably, I think, the best we can see from those guys on the court in last maybe 10 years. Like if there are any, fights during the game, that was all. After that, there were no anything bad between those guys on the court. They protected each other. That was a big detail here. They protected each other from the fans. Actually, they pleased fans not to throw up everything and things like that. Partizan players and Zvezda players also, they go together to the locker room because in that case, in that scenario, people will not throw anything on the court because they are together, So things like that I think that there is something that we see here for the first time. So.
Okay. Ho chiesto ad Alexsandra appunto tra questi episodi lungo tutta la sua carriera qual è stato il più pazzo che ha vissuto durante appunto questi anni. Ha ricordato quella della rissa durante la finale di Coppa di Serbia appunto tra Partizan e Stella Rossa a Kragujevac, se non ho capito male, che appunto sfociò in una rissa tra i tifosi e che come conseguenza ebbe il fatto che poi per molto tempo le due squadre giocarono le rispettive partite alla presenza soltanto degli spettatori di casa. Poi il discorso si è allargato appunto anche al fatto che comunque in Serbia qualsiasi competizione è vissuta in maniera da veramente vita o morte, quindi anche la partita ping pong è vissuta in maniera così esasperata, e quindi è anche questo che poi porta a tutta questa esasperazione che c'è anche sugli spalti. Ci ha sottolineato anche una nota climatica appunto del Pioneer che non ha l'aria condizionata e quindi sarà climatorico questa sera, oltre al fatto che forse non ci sarà il sold out proprio per tenere anche delle zone cuscinetto, se non ho capito male, tra le tifoserie, per evitare appunto, cercare di limitare comunque gli scontri che potrebbero sorgere, visto che parliamo appunto di una gara 5.
Alex, we want to leave you the time to go into the arena, so I'm asking you just one story and you can say positive or negative. Just I mean, whatever will be the score tonight, which is the opinion of the press in Serbia about Željko Obradovic's season with Partizan?
Well, Serbian press is really specific one. So I should be honest with this. The public and the press in Serbia expected Željko to win the Euro Cup. I think at that summer when Željko came back to Partizan. But I don't know, from game to game during the whole season, we all saw that it wasn't like that, you know. And I was there at the final of the Euro Cup in Bologna, actually, and I was on the court with those fans after the game, and I wasn't afraid at all, if you know what I mean, because we know what that means here. So I don't know, for Željko, as I said, to win the Euro Cup, to try to be in the final of the Euro Cup or something like that, to try to fight for the Euroleague, which he has a chance now to be there. So if you ask me to I don't know, to say if the season was successful or unsuccessful, I think something between, probably. I mean, we will see tonight, right? Because only one team from Serbia we are going to have in the Euroleague. That's something that you know, keeps us mad here in Serbia probably the most this summer. But that is the reason also because of this the whole tension about the ABA League final. And for the final of the domestic championship, I think the situation will probably be totally different, because it's something that it's not, you know, important for Zvezda's and Partizan fans here. So I don't know. What do you guys think about Željko's season?
I would say exactly the same. In between.
Yeah.
Mostly it will depend from tonight's score. That is, you know, it's always a bit of stupid to say we wait for a single game score to give an opinion about the season. But you know, it's basketball, so winning is always important, and so the opinion of the press and so is mostly depending on this kind of results, of this kind of scores.
Yeah, I heard.
Are you bringing us inside the arena or not?
Yes, but I need a few minutes for that, because I'm not so close to the court, and I think something explodes downstairs at the court. Actually, when players are getting out from the locker room. I hope I'm not gonna lose myself here. Just a second. Ooh, it's dark here. This is a part of the old press center here. You can probably hear the crowd now.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we are in.
We are in the arena.
We are in the arena, guarda lì.
Con i fiocchi da sommosso e via.
Disciplinare il secondo e subito. No, non è vero, no, beh,
l'atmosfera c'è.
La parlato, è vero? 23 campa la tua, confermata.
Credo.
8 tra 5 minuti.
7 minuti.
I hope you guys hear something of it.
Ok, ciao.
Siamo a bordo campo e mancano praticamente, sapete, il momento in cui gli arbitri fischiano e sollevano il 3 minuti, che vuol dire si gioca, e siamo lì in quel momento lì.
Dai, lasciamola andare, direi.
Sì. Alexsandra, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys. I'll text you after the game.